FUT champions. Massive, massive favourite in this one. But Deto has been around for years in the German scene. Very well aware of one another. Deto, very relaxed. I was just in the player lounge with him, with Marla, etc. and Dr. Hano. They're all round together, obviously talking about it. So, very experienced player. Didn't do so well in FUT champions, but certainly has stepped it up a lot here in FIWC. He's at the top of the table right now on 4 points. Timox on 2.
Yeah, this is a big one. Of course, he could propel Timox above Deto if it goes that way, if he can pick up the 3 points from this game. And of course, we do have Timox playing from left to right in the white home kit of Germany, and Deto kind of mixing the two names together there. In that, I'm not sure if that's the away or actually the third kit of Germany.
It's got to be the third kit. It's definitely not the away kit. I don't remember seeing orange. Or what do you call them? Orange or pink, or what are they? Them shorts? I'm not too sure. It's very Barcelona-esque. That's all it is. It's the you know, the orange away Barcelona colour. It's that colour. But I don't remember ever seeing Germany play this internationally. But it's a good through ball already, nonetheless. And that is an absolute belter from Deto. Top corner, cross shot across the goal. No chance. Just pick it out the net.
Absolute beast of a start there, in all honesty. And you can see for Timox, kind of like, meh, well, that's annoying. Okay, it's not actually a German kit. That's why it's one of the FUT kits. So that's why we've never seen Germany playing it before.
Never seen this. Yeah. I mean, we both live in Germany. I'm like, I've seen Germany quite a lot play, and I've never seen this before.
No, that would be
that
why.
Would explain it. Yeah.
Anyway, so 1-0 then for Deto, and what a start for him. The man, of course, leading this Group 1 on the PlayStation. That was the first move towards the box, really, of this game so far for Timox. A man who's been on the fringes for a long, long time. And honestly, I think he's due at some point a really big win. Yeah,
well, we thought it was going to come in Berlin, and it so nearly did. It went down to a penalty shootout, remember, with eggshells. That's a good through ball, though. Ronaldo going to try and set this one up. Went for the cutback, the driven cutback. Marcelo cut it out. We do have other goals going in and around the grounds. I can see it. I think it's Janos that just scored again. Janos doing absolutely brilliantly, by the way, so far within these groups. The Colombian performing so far at the top on that group, and that is a big group. You know, that 3-2 win over Gorilla. I was just talking to Gorilla, like I say, and he was saying it was basically a goal from 2 cross shots. That's a good save from Courtois. Timox almost getting an equaliser there, but driven crosses with a tap in, you don't often see them. You don't see too many crosses as it is in FIFA 17. It was all about FIFA 16, and Courtois this time gets his hand on the ball. No header for Timox, no equaliser. 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, and there's the group as it stands right now. Obviously, this draw would put Deto further in the lead in the group onto 7 points. Someone else has just scored somewhere as well.
I think it was the Bullock by the sounds of it.
We'll find out those scores, obviously, as we go. Cody 1-0 behind against Gorilla, as there was another chance here. This one could still go in. Blocked by David Luiz there. Very last second.
Still not cleared. Oh, it's
finally getting it out, though.
Roma Aman, there we go. It had to have been him. It's one or the other. Aman's pretty loud. Gorilla, though, 1-0 up. That would put him on 6 points. The same with Aman, actually. They're having some pretty good start. That's against Stacks as well. The English lad did have a win in his second game. Arguably could have beat Gorilla in his first game, but didn't take his chances. Rude them, had a quick chat, and he was just like, yep, I knew it. And he said, mind games. I was in my own head in the second half, and I'd basically lost the game already because I'd missed those chances. So it's really interesting to have speak to the players. Obviously, you talk about the mental aspect. It does come into it quite a lot, we find, in FIFA, because it is one of those games that anybody that's played this at home, it's one of the most aggravating games I've ever played when things are not going your way.
And some of that, as you rightly say, is all in your head as well.
It's total mind games.
It's not actually sometimes the way that you really perceive it, and that's a strong point for some people. That is a great ball into Lacazette. Was he offside? No, he wasn't. It's 2-0 for Deto, and that's about as direct as you're going to see them today, I think.
Well, he scored 28 goals in the French League last year. He's already scored one in the Premier League in his opening 2 minutes. And there is another finish. The player of the season card there, Lacazette, from Liga 1, of course, now plays for Arsenal. And Deto, 2-0 up in 28 minutes. That is a strong, strong start for him. Obviously, Spencer was saying how impressed he's been with Deto, obviously watching him. We didn't get to see him throughout FUT Champions, didn't have a successful qualification period there. Timox did. So obviously coming into this one as a favourite, but Deto seems to be the man in form right now.
Absolutely, seems to be the person to beat in this group, and obviously with this lead here, he's going to be sitting real pretty at the top of that Group 1 on the PlayStation. Just seeing a few changes coming out there. Didn't catch exactly what it was, but we'll be finding that out in a minute once we get back underway. There's another score for Sony against Nicholas, 1 apiece.
Yeah, Nicholas just equalised. Penalty. Just saw the penalty going in there, so he just got an equaliser back there. Sony, of course, very good player, had a good period when we were in Australia, in Sydney, and of course qualified in Doha earlier on. Gorilla, we already saw leading. Are we going to see maybe some pride coming back, or maybe the beginning of a comeback? And there's one. He just made a couple of changes, and whatever it was, it seems to have worked, because Suarez for Timox gets himself one back.
Yeah, Cody's also just equalised against Gorilla. That was a penalty, actually, for Cody. To bring him back in that one. We'll see
a lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties going on today, and again, that again can be a result of pressure. You know, when you think, I'm going to make that tackle that I probably wouldn't do on a normal day because of what's just on the line here in London. So I'm sure we'll be seeing even more of those to come. In this one, though, of course, Timox has just brought us back to 2-1. A chance for him maybe now to have another bit of a break with Ronaldo. It's a battle between him and Pogba, and it's Pogba that will win out on that for Deto. I'll be able to clear it up somewhat now towards Suarez. Bad pass there, and that's going to run free actually to Toven, who of course scored his first here for Deto. Absolute beast of a shot straight into the top corner.
Just saw that Stacks just missed a penalty against Roma Aman. That would have been an equaliser. Didn't happen. Of course, these matches, 8 matches at a time going on here. 4 on the PlayStation, 4 on the Xbox. Score just rolled across there. Raf, so you can see now equalised against Janos. But more importantly, Marlet losing. Marlet is not having a good tournament so far. Losing to Superades, obviously a veteran Japanese player of the FIWC. That would be a big win for him over Marlet.
Yeah, I think you're pointing that out rightly so there, that Marlet's not having the start to the day that maybe a lot of people would have probably expected from him. Of course, signed recently to VfB Stuttgart in Germany, recently promoted back into the Bundesliga. So that's certainly some pressure added on top of his shoulders, but still a long way to go. This is, of course, only round 3 of the groups from 7 rounds in total.
Yeah, but if you're not getting the wins, if you're not getting the points, you start to get a little worried now, don't you? Especially if, say, someone or maybe 2 or 3 players are starting to stack up a couple of wins, it starts to get really tricky for you. I still think goal difference may actually come into it with this many games. It could start being a thing around, obviously, the 4th and 5th gap. We may see some real big upsets towards there. But as it is, Timox trying to get something going in the box there. It's a risky clearance, I would say. Pogba just casually plays it back, and Valencia, well, okay. A little dribble work. He's struggling to clear his lines, and it's in the end Lacazette, a right back, that just hoofs it upfield. Route 1 clearance.
Well, why not as well? We saw that we were into added time there, so we are going to go into the half at 2-1. Let's have a look at those goals again. And it was 6 minutes 40, only 7 minutes really gone in this game, and what a beast it was to open things up.
Yeah, absolute cracking finish. You don't often see too many of those. Basically, you don't see too many players taking those shots on. And honestly, in a tournament like this, you've got to take those chances now and again. Obviously, you can set up the perfect goal. This one, another. It's all about the through ball. That is just magnificent. Defense just completely removed. Top finish. But then we see, is it a bit of pride? Is it the start of a comeback from Timox?
Well, it's a great turn from Suarez. Of course, Ronaldo setting him up with that one, but that's the kind of position that you basically have Suarez for to score from there. We are going to jump straight into the second half then. Let's see if Timox can continue this comeback trail. He conceded early in that first half, something that he's going to have to avoid this time around.
Timox is one of those players. It is very interesting how a player approaches the games. He's one of those super serious, don't talk to me guys. Like, just just don't talk to me, don't come near me, I don't want anything. He's like, got the headset on, the music in his ears, and completely cutting himself off to the rest of the world. Super focused sort of players. It's really interesting to see. Obviously, you can have other players that would just be casually like. Think of Taz. Taz will talk to anyone, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to sit down and play," and then away he goes. It's very interesting. Obviously, the mental state. He is a cool, calm customer, though. After the game, perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong. It's just different approaches that the players take. This is a good chance. In the end, the shot parried by Courtois once again. We've talked about this already. Hasn't been cleared so well. Will eventually get up to Sergio Ramos. Now Kante, and slow and steady clearing his line. Hasn't got out his own half still. Deto working this one slowly but surely, building up that counter-attack. He does have the goal lead. And there is a rule, by the way, in this tournament. It came in throughout the qualifiers. There is no time wasting between your defenders and goalkeepers, etc., around the back line. You know, think of a slow pace. It's an interesting rule, a controversial rule, I would say, to certainly some of the players. Some like it, some don't. It makes, obviously, for us, more entertaining. So it's really interesting to see how they go around it. In itself, it's a tricky skill to do, so I don't think too many players are too upset about it not being in there. But that is why you may be wondering, why is Deto not going to try and close it down or do that sort of style? Effectively, I guess you could say traditionally was the Italian style, just close out a game, keep the ball, keep possession. And as it is, he's giving away a free kick, so that's not a great place for it.
No, not ideal, that's for sure. So you can just switch out, it will be messy.
He's going short in swing, what's he playing at here?
Holding a second man there.
It's got Neymar, isn't it? It's pulled in. Looking at the penalty spot, he's going for it. He's going to try and swing it. It's gone a little too deep. It's fell to Suarez. But Kante in the end, just route one, boot it clear. Clear your line. Sometimes you just got to do that.
Yeah. And, you know, one man that'll probably know that best is Shells. We heard him earlier on saying that I did it again, similar to in what I did in Berlin. I need to learn to just get rid of it sometimes. That can definitely cost you. I think the safe route is always the better route. If someone's down and injured there for a little while.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Sean Allen is here. I did say I am going to bring it up again. Obviously, classic sign. Let's just see whether Timox manages to do something with this. The shot parried. He went straight back to him, but it was cleared in the end by the defenders. But going back to my point, obviously Sean Allen, probably the biggest shock, I would say. 3-1 up in the 82nd minute. Lets a goal in, just needs to keep the ball. But no, Mohamed Al-Bakr comes in, 86th minute. Long ball straight into the middle. And that's just how the comebacks can work. Ended 3-3. And then, of course, won it with the away goal rule. And, well, keep your eye on that one. We've seen a couple of comebacks already. But this time, Deto looks like he might try and finish it. The cutback's on for Suarez. Oh, he's just been muscled off by Ramos and in the end dribbles it off the pitch.
Yep, 70 minutes almost on the clock here. You can see that. I'm just going to check through the player rating so far and see if there's a specific area where he could improve. It looks like we might see a bit of a formation change overall. Suarez going to get put up there. It looks like Neymar might be coming off. It will be. Nainggolan coming on. And a change in tactics as well. So, you know, Timox at this point, I think he realises, okay, I'm going to go for this one. Although you have to also say, you mentioned goal difference earlier on. You know, losing 2-1's one thing, but losing 3-4-1 might actually come back and be you know, the final nail in the coffin. You could get knocked out with, you know, those 2 goals extra.
Well, he made those little changes in the first half, remember, and scored instantly.
That's true.
So let's just keep our eye on that one. The score's still coming in the top corner. Don't forget to keep your eye on them. You can see Eggshells drawing with Rain 10 at the moment. So England versus Mexico there. Rain 10, we saw him, remember, the cracking game ourselves here. Shells, that would be his 3rd draw, I believe. So he needs to start getting some wins. Obviously, the winner for the PlayStation in Berlin. Nicholas just scored 4-2 for him over Sunny at the moment. So Nicholas FC doing very well. I think that would be his 2nd win in that group. So it would put him in good stead so far as the changes continue. Okay, Nainggolan's going to be changed out. Mane, the Speedmeister, going switched over to the right. Chuck Messi over to the left. He can play anywhere. It doesn't matter. Chuck him in defence, he'd be fine. Just dribble it out of the box and score, probably. But it looks like Suarez is going to be played as cam. So he's going to keep. He's dropped Suarez back to Cam and brought Mane in. So a bit of pace, trying to maybe expose Deto's right wing. I'm just trying to think who's there, whether he's low on pace. It's probably going to be on the right wing. He's going to be up against on the left. He's got Marcelo on the right, I believe. Didn't see who was there for us. Was it Kyle Walker? Yes.
Yeah. I think so. Let's see how this all works out for him.
Super 8 is 3-0 over Marlet. That is a massive score. Marlet, he needs some help from his coach right now because he is tanking goals.
Yeah, it has Dr. Hano here, obviously also signed with him to that Stuttgart team. See if he can offer him some advice because he definitely needs to be picking up in his final few games. Here though is Deto. What's he going to do? He's got a lot of space here for Mane down on the bottom, and if he sees a space, he'll run quicker than almost anyone else can into that space. Somehow it's pinging around here in the box. Still a final pass wasn't there though. Just bobbled away for Ronaldo. And Timox just trying to get out there. Actually, Kante went down, but referee decides there's no foul play. And now Deto will be the man to push forward. Trying the through ball again. This time though has to use the triangle, but he's got Mane. Going to come thundering forward. We'll just drag it back there. David Luiz. No, it was Marcelo that got in the way, but the shot didn't really have the power. Courtois able to collect, but we're almost at the 80-minute mark now. Something has to happen soon for Timox, and this could be it. Well, it's a big long ball. I don't think he's got the legs. Suarez not always the fastest. Cracking finishing. 10 minutes to go in this game. You can see how tense it is. Like, a lot of changes. Timox knows he needs a win right now. He's had 2 draws so far. A draw would help, don't get me wrong. A point there would be great. Wow, big goal there. Shells managing to get a lead over Reign 10. 2-1. That's a big win for him. That'd be his first win of the tournament. Reign 10, of course, we saw pick up the win earlier on. Deto, though, in this matchup, is still leading with those 2 early goals he got against Timox, 2-1. It's been Timox on the attack for a large portion of it. Just 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Let's see if he can pull something back. Griezmann on the pitch for Messi. Big change, fast player, big headline maker that ended up staying at Atletico Madrid. One of the big headlines that actually signed and stayed. Let's see if Coutinho does the same. I'm going to have to disappoint you there again, I believe. We'll see about that, though. The time is running away. That ball's going to go through. Keeper's coming out to it, and Courtois gets there first. Sliding as well. And that was incredibly close. A chance, no doubt, for Timox. Obviously not much he could do in that scenario. Then once the ball's gone through, we just hope that you're going to be faster than the keeper, but it was pulled out early enough for Deto. And that is the big point of it now. We can see that Deto, he's just going to try and keep possession for the last 5 minutes or so.
Big equaliser for Reign 10 just before that end of that match, it seems. Unless, was there just a goal? I think there was. I think Reign 10 just scored. Oh my God, he just scored from well outside the D. And that's going to be a 3-2 win for Reign 10. That is a massive result. Eggshells, again, after drawing those 2 points, he's suddenly in trouble. Reign 10 will be topping that group. We'll go to that action after this game, and obviously with Laura keeping you updates on the groups and Spencer around the grounds. Right now, there is just a minute remaining. It is Timox on the attack. He needs a goal. It's a good ball across. Oh, and it's headed clear and then just played casually back by the goalkeeper. And Deto keeps the possession, keeps it in the corner, plays it across his goal, and there's no one there from Timox. And that may well just be the clearance that gives him the win. 2-1, the result here. It is all over in the German affair. It's Deto that comes out on top, 2-1.
Now you can see